Welcome back to another episode of The Perspective. I'm your host, Brooklyn 80s. Shout out to all my supporters, my subscribers. Shout out to everybody who holler at me in the comments. Playback gang. Do me a favor, hit the like button, run these likes up. Today, I want to talk about Chennedy Carter. Chennedy Carter shouted me out, man. She shouted my podcast out on her IG story. That's love. She said that's love. I'm sending the love right back to her. I'm telling her that's love. That's fire that she would do that. That makes me feel good that these players is watching, man. These players is watching. Chennedy Carter, so letting you know this is a page that supports you. You know, we truth tellers over here, so we always gonna keep it real. But you know, I support you as a player, and any other player and hopefully you subscribe. And any other player that's watching, you know, this is a safe place for you guys. You know what I mean? You could definitely come join the panel. Come let your voice be heard. No, we always going to talk positive about women's basketball, women's sports, and we keep it fair. So yeah, big shout outs to Chennedy Carter for showing that type of love. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Chennedy. With that said, though, I want to shed some more light on Chennedy. Chennedy just played in a CWBA. No, WCBA, I think it is. WCBA, Women's Chinese Basketball Association. She was in an all-star game. She came off the bench. The rules over there is if you're not from the country, you can't start. So that's why she came off the bench, because she's pretty much the best player in that league. I think she's their MVP, if I'm not mistaken. But she played on Team South. She had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Olivia Nelson Adota also played in the All-Star game with her on Team North, and she had 23 points and 14 rebounds. So shout out to Chennedy and Olivia for making the All-Star team and showing out and having really good numbers over there. But that kind of segued me into my next point that I want to make of Chennedy not having a team yet in the WNBA. I think it's crazy. You know, Chennedy had one of her best seasons last year, one of the better seasons of anybody in the WNBA last year, and she's still trying to get on the team. It just don't make no sense. I understand she might have issues and all that, but everybody have issues, man. I say it all the time. You know, Jimmy Butler had his issues. You know, he's on the team. Ben Simmons had his issues. He's on the team. You know, Draymond had his issues. He's on the team. You know, Ron Artest had his issues. He still was able to have a full career. So what is it? Is it because they women, they get held at a different standard? I don't understand it, man. But that's not the case either, because you take a look at people like Diana Taurasi, she has a temper. You take a look at people like Skylar Diggins, she has a temper. You know, and it's Courtney Williams has a temper. It's a lot of people in the WNBA that get that's not getting blackball careers, not getting cut short. This woman literally only played 3 seasons in the WNBA, and they're trying to kick her out the WNBA. It's crazy, especially when she's one of their better talents, especially when you're trying to get your league. You know, to continue rising. You want to put all the people that people want to come watch on display. And Chennedy Carter is somebody that people love to come see, right? So I would love to see. So my solution for Chennedy wants to be on a team that wants her. And the Connecticut Sun needs a player that wants to be there. So that's like a match made in heaven to me. Connecticut doesn't have proper facilities for professional players, and they refusing to build them, and they refusing to sell a team. I don't understand it. They don't want to build it. They too cheap to build the facilities, and they're too greedy to sell the team. Okay. Players don't want to play there. Players want to play places now that's going to invest in the players, rightfully so. So if you're an organization that needs a cornerstone, Chennedy Carter is your player. Because Chennedy Carter right now, focus isn't facilities. Her focus is being wanted. And I feel like Chennedy and Connecticut can help each other. So if I'm Connecticut, I'm trading Marina Mabrey to get assets. I'm trading Natasha Cloud to get assets. I'm bringing in Chennedy. I'm saying you're going to be our cornerstone, and it's going to have to be a deal between the both of them. Chennedy is going to have to buy into Connecticut. She's going to have to buy into the culture there. And she's going to have to prove that she can be a leader and not, get upset. And, she's going to have to be she's going to have to be her best self for Connecticut. And Connecticut is going to have to, and then in turn, see the commitment that Chennedy is making, invest in her and build a team around her, right? Like I said, you already got a Nelson, Olivia Nelson and Dota there. You got some young players. JC Sheldon is there. Tina Charles signed back. She's probably going to play for a season. I don't know how much longer she has, but Tina Charles is there. And then there's some good draft picks coming up in the next couple of drafts. They could get some good in 2026 and some good in 2027. And they could have a team in a couple years. So to me, this is the best case scenario for both Chennedy and Connecticut, to try to give Chennedy a home, and it allows Connecticut to get back in a direction of winning. With that said, let's take a look at Kennedy's stats of 2024. Right, this is Kennedy's stats. 2024, she had her best season. Her player efficiency rating was 21.2. We all know 15 is average. So she was well above that. She was well above that, and shows the kind of season she had last year to not be in the league is crazy. Right. And then we take a look at her pie, right? This is 2024. As you can see here, her pie was 13. For guards, that's one of the highest in the league. It's one of the highest player impact estimates in the league. Right. Chennedy was arguably the best, the second best, or the third best shooting guard in the WNBA last year. That's depending on where you put Kelsey Mitchell, and that's depending on where you put Enrique Wnba. Right, those three players, Chennedy Carter. However you chop those three players up, Chennedy Carter was in that conversation, and she's not on the team right now. I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy that Moscata didn't bring her back. So far, they haven't bought anybody better than her. So we essentially gotten worse, not bringing her back. But I want the best for Chennedy Carter. And I think the best case scenario is Chennedy Carter in Connecticut. I think when you think of these scenarios, you got to think of how can they help both parties, and I think that helps both parties. Now the question is, do they have GMs smart enough to put that together? That's my thoughts. You guys tell me what you think about that in the comments. Again, to recap this video, I want to say shout out to Chennedy Carter again for highlighting my page on her story. Shout out to Chennedy Carter for making it to the WCBA All-Star game and showing out. And it's a shame that Chennedy Carter isn't on the team yet. But I believe Connecticut Sun could be that team, right? She got to go someplace and prove that she belongs and that she could be a leader and that's going to take a chance on her. And I believe that's the team. So like I said, holla at me in the comments. Tell me your thoughts on that. Tell me your solution for Kennedy. If you find a better one than I did for her to make it back to the WNBA, what's your solution for Chennedy Carter? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Everybody have a blessed night, man.